G'day, this is the last video of the 11 video series on fractions. This one's dividing fractions. When we're dividing fractions, it's a bit of a strange rule, this one, but not that hard to deal with. We turn the second fraction upside down and then we multiply. The last video, video 10, told us all about how we multiply fractions, and it was a pretty straightforward rule. So this is a bit of a bargain as well, if we remember that we have to turn the second fraction upside down and then we multiply. So here we've got 3/5 divided by 3/4. Now we're not actually going to do this question. We're going to kind of take a shortcut. We're going to write down the 3/5. That doesn't change. But then this next bit, we're going to actually turn it into a multiply, and we're going to take that second fraction and turn it upside down. So instead of 3/4 here, we're going to put 4/3. So that's pretty weird, but still, there is a reason for it mathematically, but we won't go into it here. Okay, so we've turned that upside down, and now we can treat this like a separate question. This can be just treated like a normal multiply from this point onwards. Okay, so we multiply across the top. 3 times 4 is 12, and across the bottom, 5 times 3 is 15. Now step 3, and actually any time you get a fraction answer, let's just see if you can simplify. You might be able to spot that 3 can go into the 12 and into the 15. So we'll divide 3 into the top and 3 into the bottom. 12 divided by 3 is a 4 on the top, and 15 divided by 3 is 5 on the top. So we've divided by 3/4, but we're actually ended up multiplying by its reciprocal, we say. When we turn a fraction upside down, we create a reciprocal. Okie dokie. Another example here. 2/3 divided by 1/6. Step 1 is to, well actually the rule says turn the second fraction upside down and then we'll multiply. Just write the first fraction straight there, 2/3, that doesn't change. Then we're going to turn it into a multiply, and we're turning the second fraction upside down. So instead of 1/6, we've got 6/1. And we can treat it like a multiply question. Don't have to even worry that it came from a divided by situation. Multiply across the top. 2 times 6 is 12, multiply across the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. Our last bit though, on any fraction question, see if we can simplify. Now 3 can divide into the top and bottom, so we can do it this way. 3 can divide into the bottom, and it goes once. 3 can divide into the top, and it goes 4 times. So you can see that we're left with 4/1. Now in fractions we don't have to write a 1 in if it's on the bottom, so our final answer can be just 4 there. Okay, so we turn the second fraction upside down, and then we use the multiplying steps from the previous video. Now once again, in an ideal world we'd be able to use our calculator all the time, but it's best to know how to do things without the calculator if you're stuck. So using a calculator, that you type the division into your calculator using your fraction buttons and the divided by button, and then you press a really tricky thing, you press equals, and you've got the answer. So that's the end of the 11 video series on fractions, the fractions video series. Please watch any of them over and over again until you're really clear on all these rules. There's a lot of rules for fractions, but they're all able to be learnt with enough practice, and I wish you all the best in your studies.